Good morning, everyone, and welcome. I'm Dr. S.K. Singh, and I'm pleased to be here with you today. Today's presentation is focused on the EU GMP Guidelines for Pharmaceutical Quality System, or PQS. We'll explore the key principles and best practices outlined in these guidelines to help ensure quality and compliance in pharmaceutical manufacturing. Over the next few minutes, we'll cover the main aspects of the PQS and how they can be applied effectively. So let's get started. Let's take a closer look at the introduction to EU GMP. EU GMP, or Good Manufacturing Practice, is primarily governed by a few key organizations. The European Medicines Agency, or EMA, plays a central role in setting standards and overseeing compliance. Alongside the EMA, the European Commission establishes the regulatory framework, ensuring consistency across member states. Additionally, each country has its own competent authorities, such as Germany's BFRM or France's ANSM, that enforce these standards locally. Now, on the legal side, EU GMP is backed by specific regulations and guidelines. The main document is UDRA Lex Volume 4, which contains detailed EU GMP guidelines. There's also Directive 2001/83/EC, which provides the legal basis for medicinal products within the EU. The most important point here is that EU GMP is not just a set of guidelines. It's a legally binding framework that applies across the entire European Union. This means companies operating within the EU need to comply with these standards to ensure safety, quality, and efficacy of medicines. This foundation is essential as we move forward, because understanding who governs and enforces these standards helps us appreciate how pharmaceutical manufacturing maintains high levels of quality and consistency throughout Europe. Let's take a closer look at the definition of the Pharmaceutical Quality System, or PQS, as outlined in EU GMP Chapter 1. PQS is essentially a comprehensive system, meaning it covers all aspects necessary to ensure product quality. Its main goal is to make sure that medicinal products are consistently produced and controlled to meet the appropriate quality standards. These standards are not arbitrary. They are tailored to the intended use of the products, ensuring safety and efficacy for patients. It's important to note that PQS isn't just a local or isolated concept. It aligns with international guidelines, specifically the ICH-Q10, which is a globally recognized framework for pharmaceutical quality systems. This alignment helps ensure consistency and harmonization across different regions and markets. So, in summary, PQS is about creating a robust, integrated approach that guarantees the quality of medicinal products throughout their life cycle, supporting our overall goal of delivering safe, effective medicines to patients worldwide. Let's take a closer look at the objectives of the PQS under EU GMP. The primary goal here is to ensure product realization, which means making sure that the products meet the necessary quality standards from development through manufacturing and distribution. It's also about establishing and maintaining a state of control, so we can consistently deliver safe and effective products. Another key point is facilitating continual improvement, always looking for ways to enhance our processes and quality systems. Protecting patient safety is at the core of everything we do, so ensuring that every step complies with regulatory requirements is essential. Now, moving to the scientific emphasis, the life cycle approach is fundamental, thinking about product quality throughout its entire life cycle. Risk-based thinking helps us prioritize efforts based on the potential impact on quality and patient safety. Knowledge management is also critical, as it allows us to effectively capture, share, and apply our expertise and data. All these concepts are interconnected and support the overall theme of quality excellence in pharmaceutical manufacturing under EU GMP standards. Now, let's take a closer look at the core elements of the EU GMP Product Quality System, or PQS, as outlined in Chapter 1. These key components form the foundation of a robust quality framework. First, we have the quality policy, which sets the overall commitment to quality and continuous improvement. It's essential that this policy is clearly communicated and embraced across the organization. Next is the Quality Manual, a comprehensive document that describes how the quality system is implemented and maintained. Management responsibility is another critical element. Leadership must actively support and oversee quality activities to ensure compliance and effectiveness. Then, there's the CAPA system, which stands for Corrective and Preventive Actions, an essential process for addressing issues and preventing recurrence. Change management is also vital, as it ensures any modifications to processes or products are controlled and validated to avoid unintended impacts. Monitoring process performance is about tracking key metrics to ensure processes are operating within established parameters. The Product Quality Review, or PQR, involves regular reviews of product batches to identify trends and opportunities for improvement. Quality risk management is integrated to proactively assess and mitigate potential risks to product quality. Knowledge management ensures that critical information is captured, shared, and utilized effectively across the organization. And finally, it's important to recognize that EU GMP integrates both scientific principles and regulatory oversight, ensuring that quality is maintained not just through compliance, but through a science-based approach. Altogether, these elements work synergistically to uphold the integrity of the pharmaceutical products and ensure patient safety. Let's talk about management responsibility and the importance of fostering a strong quality culture. Senior management plays a crucial role here. First, they must demonstrate leadership commitment, meaning they need to actively show they prioritize quality in everything we do. This isn't just about words, it's about setting an example through actions. Next, providing adequate resources is vital. Whether it's personnel, training, or tools, management must ensure the team has what it needs to maintain high-quality standards. Promoting a quality culture means encouraging everyone to take ownership of quality, making it a core part of our daily operations. It's about creating an environment where quality is everyone's responsibility, not just a separate department's job. Another key point is ensuring the independence of the quality unit. They need to operate freely and without undue influence so they can effectively oversee and uphold quality standards. Now, focusing on the EU perspective, management accountability is emphasized even more strongly than in traditional GMP models. For example, if we see a trend of deviations increasing, management must step in, investigate thoroughly, and allocate the necessary resources for corrective actions. This proactive approach is critical to maintaining compliance and continuous improvement. Overall, strong management involvement and accountability are the backbone of a robust quality system, ensuring that we not only meet regulatory requirements, but also foster a culture of excellence. Let's walk through the key steps involved in risk management. First, we start with risk identification, which is about pinpointing potential hazards that could impact our processes or products. Once we've identified the risks, we move to risk analysis, where we evaluate the likelihood and potential impact of each risk. This helps us understand which risks are more critical to address. Next is risk evaluation, where we prioritize these risks based on their significance, so we can focus our resources effectively. After that comes risk control, the phase where we implement measures to mitigate or eliminate the identified risks. Finally, we have risk review, which involves continuously monitoring and reassessing our risks to ensure our controls remain effective over time. To put this into context, let's consider a practical example: risk assessment for cross-contamination in shared manufacturing facilities. It's a common concern in our industry, and applying these steps systematically helps us manage it proactively. Now, to support these steps, we utilize various scientific tools. For instance, FMEA, or failure mode and effects analysis, helps us anticipate potential failures. HACCP is crucial for identifying hazards in food and pharmaceutical manufacturing. Fault tree analysis provides a visual way to understand how failures can lead to problems. Risk ranking matrices help us prioritize risks based on their severity and likelihood. And quality risk management, or QRM, is a comprehensive approach that integrates all these tools into our overall quality system. It's also important to note that the EU GMP guidelines require us to implement principles from ICH Q9, which emphasizes a science-based, systematic approach to risk management. This ensures we maintain high-quality standards and continually improve our processes. So, understanding and applying these steps and tools is fundamental to maintaining product quality and patient safety throughout our manufacturing operations. Let's talk about documentation and data integrity. An important example to highlight is the deletion of HPLC data without a proper audit trail and justification. This is considered a major deficiency because it compromises the integrity of the data. Now, in the EU GMP framework, there are several key requirements to ensure proper documentation. These include a clear documentation hierarchy, controlled standard operating procedures, comprehensive batch records, validation documentation, and very importantly, audit trails. Audit trails are crucial because they provide a transparent record of all data changes, ensuring traceability and accountability. From a regulatory perspective, there are specific areas of focus. For instance, Annex 11 relates to computerized systems, emphasizing the need for proper controls and validation. Annex 1, which was revised in 2022, deals with sterile manufacturing, with similar expectations for data integrity. And then there's the ALCOA Plus principle, which serves as a foundation for good documentation practices. It emphasizes that data should be attributable, legible, contemporaneous, original, and accurate. Additionally, data should be complete, consistent, enduring, and available. All of these elements work together to support the overall goal, maintaining trustworthy, reliable data that meets regulatory standards and supports patient safety. Let's take a closer look at the change management system. When we consider changing an API supplier, for example, it's not just a simple switch. It requires a comparability study to ensure the new supplier's product matches the previous one, and there might be a need to submit variations to regulatory authorities, depending on the jurisdiction. In the EU, GMP standards demand that any change is formally controlled before it's implemented. This means we need to follow a structured process to manage these changes properly. The key requirements for such changes include providing a scientific justification, explaining why the change is necessary, and conducting a thorough risk assessment to evaluate potential impacts. We also need an impact analysis to understand how this change might affect our process or product quality. Once these are in place, approval by the quality assurance team is essential before moving forward. There are different types of changes we might encounter. These include modifications to process parameters, upgrading equipment, changing supplier qualifications, or updating analytical methods. Each of these requires careful evaluation and documentation to ensure continuous compliance and product quality. Overall, this system ensures that any change is well managed, controlled, and aligned with our commitment to quality and regulatory compliance. Let's talk about CAPA, which stands for Corrective and Preventive Action. This is a crucial part of the EU PQS, and it's actually mandatory for ensuring quality and compliance. The process begins with deviation detection, where we identify any issues that arise during manufacturing or testing. Once a deviation is spotted, we move to root cause analysis to understand what caused the problem in the first place. Next comes corrective action, which addresses the immediate issue, like revising a standard operating procedure. After that, we implement preventive action to avoid similar issues in the future, such as installing new monitoring systems. Finally, we verify the effectiveness of these actions to ensure the problem has truly been resolved and won't recur. For example, if we encounter an out-of-specification dissolution result, we might find that inadequate granulation moisture control was the root cause. Our corrective action could involve revising the SOP, and our preventive action might be installing a humidity monitoring system. By following these steps thoroughly, we maintain quality and compliance, supporting the overall goal of consistent product quality. Let's talk about process performance and quality monitoring, which is a crucial part of EU GMP. It involves continuous process verification, meaning we keep an ongoing check on how our process is performing over time. This isn't a one-time task. It's about ensuring consistent quality throughout production. We also use statistical trend analysis to identify patterns or shifts that could indicate potential issues early on. Monitoring critical process parameters, or CPPs, helps us keep key variables within acceptable ranges, while keeping an eye on critical quality attributes, or CQAs, ensures the final product meets quality standards. To do this effectively, we rely on scientific tools like control charts, which visually display process stability, and process capability analysis, such as CP and CPK, to assess how well our process can produce within specifications. Trending out of specification results, like OOS or OOT results, allows us to catch deviations early. For example, if trend analysis shows a gradual increase in impurity levels, that would trigger an investigation before the impurity levels reach the specification limits. This proactive approach helps maintain product quality and compliance with regulatory requirements, which is the overall goal of our monitoring efforts. Let's now discuss the Product Quality Review, or PQR, which is a key requirement under EU GMP regulations. The PQR is an essential process that involves an annual review of our product quality data to ensure continued compliance and performance. This review covers several critical areas. First, deviations and CAPA, which help us identify and address any issues that arose during manufacturing. Next, we look at OOS and OOT results, out of specification and out of trend data, to catch any potential quality concerns early. We also review stability data to confirm that our products maintain their quality throughout their shelf life. Complaints and recalls are another focus, providing insights into customer feedback and product issues that need attention. Validation status is also assessed, ensuring that our processes are consistently validated and reliable. Lastly, we evaluate supplier performance, which is vital for maintaining the quality of raw materials and components. To illustrate, imagine an annual review uncovers a recurring variation in blend uniformity. This pattern signals a need for process revalidation, helping us prevent future issues and ensure product consistency. Overall, the PQR is a comprehensive review that helps us continuously improve our processes and uphold the highest quality standards. Now, let's take a closer look at the role of the qualified person, or QP, and why batch certification is such a critical part of the process. One key aspect to remember is that, in the EU, it's a unique requirement that each batch of medicinal product must be certified by a qualified person before it can be released. This isn't just a formality, it's a legal and scientific safeguard. The responsibilities of the QP are quite comprehensive. They must verify that the batch complies with good manufacturing practices, or GMP, ensuring quality and safety. They also need to confirm that the batch meets all marketing authorization conditions, meaning it adheres to the approved specifications and regulatory standards. And most importantly, the QP is legally responsible for certifying each batch before it leaves the manufacturing site. This role carries significant scientific and legal weight. When the QP signs off on a batch, they're not just giving an approval, they're personally accountable for its quality. This personal legal accountability underscores the importance of their role in maintaining the integrity and safety of medicinal products across the entire supply chain. So, in the context of our overall theme, the QP's certification process is a fundamental component that ensures both compliance and trust in the quality of medicines distributed within the EU. Let's take a moment to look at how process improvements, especially those aimed at reducing variability, need careful management. Any significant change must go through a thorough risk assessment and gain approval for regulatory variation before implementation. This ensures that safety, quality, and compliance are maintained throughout the process. Now, considering the life cycle stages, we see that pharmaceutical development, technology transfer, commercial manufacturing, and even product discontinuation all require a structured approach to quality management. Each stage has unique challenges, but the core principles of continuous improvement and life cycle management remain constant. Speaking of which, the EU GMP framework strongly promotes ongoing process verification. This means we're always monitoring and validating our processes to ensure consistent quality. Knowledge management is also crucial. Keeping all the information well organized helps us learn from each stage and improve continuously. Innovation is encouraged, but it must be under regulatory control to ensure compliance. And finally, life cycle quality management is about viewing quality as a lifelong journey, integrating all these elements to sustain high standards from development to discontinuation. Connecting this to our broader theme, it's clear that a life cycle approach isn't just a regulatory requirement. It's a strategic way to deliver safe, effective, and high-quality medicines throughout their entire lifespan. Let's wrap up with some key takeaways from the EU GMP pharmaceutical quality system. First, it's important to note that this system is legally binding across the entire European Union, which means compliance isn't optional. It's a legal requirement. It's also aligned with international standards like ICH Q8, Q9, and Q10, ensuring a harmonized approach to pharmaceutical quality and innovation. A core emphasis of the system is on risk-based science. This means that decisions are driven by scientific understanding and risk assessments, helping us focus on what truly matters for product quality and patient safety. Additionally, the system requires qualified person, or QP, certification for batch release, which underlines the importance of expert oversight in manufacturing. Data integrity is also a key focus. Accurate, complete, and reliable data are essential for maintaining quality and compliance. And finally, the framework promotes life cycle quality management, meaning quality isn't just checked at one point, but is continuously monitored and improved throughout the product's life cycle. In conclusion, the EU PQS is a structured, science-driven regulatory framework that ensures patient safety remains at the core of pharmaceutical manufacturing. It's designed to be robust, adaptable, and aligned with global standards to support the highest quality in medicines. For further support, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're here to help you with any questions or additional guidance you might need. Remember, your success is our priority. Thank you so much for your time and attention today. We truly appreciate your engagement and look forward to supporting you moving forward.